All right, so we got another fight up on this card. It's the co-main event, Xiaonan versus Carla Esparza. So, Tom, I'm going to let you kick this one off because I know you've got a little bit of an opinion, and I want to see if you can sway me before I give my pick here.
Okay, well, so that kind of gave it away. Right now, Keith is thinking that he wants to take Carla Cookie Monster Esparza. I want to pick Xiaonan. Probably not pronouncing that right, but listen, Esparza, she's not really a finisher. Both of these women are very good. Jan has a great takedown defense. She's better on the feet. She's also the bigger fighter. Jan, she's got wins over Angie Overkill Hill, who I recently tweeted at. Angie, tweet me back, please. I bought one of your shirts.
We love you.
You heard the man.
Jan, she's, she mentioned earlier this week that she's very upset about Rose's calling out of China. So I think that could potentially be an additional motivator here. Kind of similar to how Rose kind of brought some drama into the fight that really had nothing to do with Weili Zhang. So good for Jan for bringing something in. Also, fighters named Jan really doing well now. Pyotr Jan, Jan Blachowicz. It's a good time to be named Jan. So because of those reasons, also Jan has fought some big name fighters. Let me rattle these off for you. She fought Angie Overkill Hill. Never mind. Nix that. She didn't fight big name fighters. I must have read my trusty notes wrong. Mom, you were right. I need to improve my handwriting. Either way, Jan, she is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fight win streak. Unanimous decisions each of the last 3. Yeah, unanimous decisions each of the last 3. So it shows that she's got a really great gas tank. She's been doing this since 2017, thoroughly outclassing basically everyone she's fought. I really like Jan in this fight.
So the reason why I like Carla here, and I will say you didn't really sway me with your argument, unfortunately, but I think I might get the people at home with mine. Women's fights are scored differently than men's fights, right? And men's fights are heavily reliant on scoring by damage, and there is a control time factor, but damage does play a big factor in the men's fights, whereas in women's fights, control time on the ground really plays a huge factor in who wins the rounds. And like you said, Yan has gone to a lot of decision victories, but I have a feeling this is going to be a loss via decision for Xiaonan, because Carla Esparza is a vet, first of all, and like you said, Yan Xiaonan hasn't really fought any big names, whereas Carla Esparza has been in there with some of the best of them. And what I really like about Carla here, just bringing it back to that control time point, she's going to try her best to take down Xiaonan a lot. Now, Xiaonan does have good takedown defense, but like we saw this, we didn't really see it in his fight, but we heard him saying it when he went to go fight Peter Yan. Aljamain Sterling, how many times can I take you down or try to take you down before I actually get it? It didn't happen for him in that fight, but I have a feeling that Carla Esparza is going in here with a similar mentality where she knows that Xiaonan isn't really a ground fighter. And the method of victory here for Esparza is going to have to be a decision. She doesn't really have, at least in my opinion, the KO power anymore. Plus, this would be a move up in the rankings for her. So I have a feeling that this fight's going to be a lot of takedowns for Esparza, rounds 1, 2, and 3, and then her just sitting on top of Xiaonan, getting those control time points, winning on the cards. If she brings her to the ground every round, it's basically game over for Xiaonan. So that is very dependent on her using her ground ability. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm still feeling Esparza on this one. I wouldn't necessarily call it a lock. She is the underdog here, so I like that. She is plus 100 as opposed to Xiaonan's minus 120. And, those lines tell us right there. Even Vegas kind of feels the same way I do. It's rare that you see a plus 100 underdog, which is almost, that's getting close to even. And then at that point, it's going to be a minus money line. So I might actually lock in Carla Esparza here as the underdog like today once we get done filming with that plus 100 line, because she is a name that people know. I would like to lock that in before the public starts kind of feeling Carla Esparza here. I don't know. You got any pushback for me on that, Tom?
Yeah, I absolutely do.
I think
Look, let's look at averages. And if we're ever going to talk about stats and averages, Xiaonan is the perfect fighter to talk about it. Listen, all of her last 6 fights have all went to decision. She's probably racking up some of the most fight time in the ring of any women's fighter out there. She's got a 75% takedown accuracy, 75% takedown defense, and compare that to your girl Carla Esparza, 35 and 48. That being said, when you say that she's going to take her down and be able to beat her on the ground, and the judges are, they're going to judge by control time, I think that still plays for Yan Xiaonan. I'm tempted to make this a lock for me. And I find it very interesting that you're so heavily against it. Strike landed per minute. Jan's 6.2 to Carla's 2.29. Striking accuracy, generally the same. So that's going to go to Jan as well. Strikes absorbed per minute, she has a little bit more strikes absorbed than Carla does. But what does that say about her? It says she's durable, Keith. Furthermore, her defense, 63% compared to Carla's 53%. She beats her in almost every statistical category. She's taller than her. She's the bigger fighter. She's got more experience in her in terms of ring time. Give me Yan Xiaonan. Lock that bitch in. I don't mean to discredit women or be mean or rude. I was using bitch purely figuratively to add an exclamation point to my argument.
Lock that bitch in as in the bitch is the bet. That's
correct
right there.
Correct. Jan would kick the shit out of me. You add the extra motivation of, against Rose Namajunas. By the way, Carla Esparza, I believe, if my memory, and by memory I mean my computer, serves me right, she beat Rose Namajunas back in 2014 via rear naked choke on the Ultimate Fighter, the championship.
See, what really is kind of swaying me is those 75 percentages on takedown accuracy and takedown defense. That does kind of throw a little wrench in my argument here. Still, it's plus 100, and that's just
it's Wednesday. This can all change. Make sure you follow us at our Twitter handles to see if we change our bets at all.
Yeah.
So continue.
I might be swayed differently, depending on how this goes, like these next couple of days with everybody else locking their stuff in and what Vegas says. I mean, we also got to keep in mind there could be somebody getting COVID right before this fight, or, somebody not making weight. So this fight may not even happen. I think these are 2 women that are very dedicated to the sport, and they will be prepared to fight on Saturday. But that plus 100 line, it's just so tempting. That's what's kind of driving it home for me right now. And I am still leaning towards Esparza. Like we said, this is going to be more of a game time Saturday night, probably at like 8:55 type of decision. So, keep up with us on everything, because I might go Xiaonan, but just based on the way that women's fights are scored, and I don't know, I still like Esparza here. That's just me. You look at the competition she's fought too, like as opposed to Xiaonan. Who has Xiaonan fought? Like any big names? You said it yourself. Like
Angie Overkill Hill. She fought Karolina Kowalkiewicz, who has very similar last name to me. Got 5 takedowns over her. Now Karolina Kowalkiewicz kind of past her prime. She lost to Alexa Grasso. She lost to Michelle Waterson. She lost to Jessica Andrade. I'm starting to realize when we watch these videos of everybody who's talking about this stuff, I thought that they had incredible memories. No, they just have a computer in front of them. I sound so much better with a computer in front of me reading this stuff off. Don't I sound super knowledgeable, Keith?
Oh, yeah. You sound smart as heck right now.
Karolina, she fought Joanna Jędrzejczyk in November 12th of 2016 on the Alvarez-McGregor card. She's got a win over Rose Namajunas. That she used to be something, but listen, getting 5 takedowns on a fighter in a fight is nothing to scoff at. So, you said it yourself, Keith. They judge these differently. They take control time and takedowns very seriously. And Jan has proven that she can do that. Jan has went out there and against every fighter she's fought, she's basically beaten them at their own game and or forced them into a game that they weren't comfortable with. I think she's a smart fighter. We talk about, day in and day out how the Chinese train their fighters as not as if it's their full-time job, but it's their full-time job, their part-time job, and what they do in their free time. So generally, I'm going to give the slight edge to the Chinese fighter. They don't know what the repercussions are going to be should they lose or should they disappoint. Look at Weili Zhang. She had to cut her hair. So, maybe that was her decision. We have no way of knowing. I'm not insinuating anything, but I'm just saying. So I like Yan Xiaonan. Xiaonan. Sorry, I don't think I've said it yet the same way or correctly.
Yeah, neither have I don't know. I mean, I got to take a class in like Mandarin to figure out how to pronounce this last name. But yeah, you're kind of swaying me here. You're kind of swaying me. But I'm still feeling Carla. Skids, what do you got for us here?
If you know me, put heavy emphasis on names. My UFC buddy, he has a podcast of his own. I'm going to shamelessly plug it. Martian, shit, what is his name?
What a plug.
Good job. All right, what were you about to say?
Whatever his name is, Martian. We'll call him John. His name's John Natton. It sounds like that's the name you guys kept saying, John Natton. So he actually told me to go with Esmeralda. I'm not going to go with Esmeralda. I'm going to go with John Natton. Ironic enough, because John Natton gave me the Esmeralda pick. So I'm going to go ahead and go with John Natton. She seems like a good fighter. She has hair. You said she doesn't have hair?
She has hair.
She has hair. She may not if she loses. Not sure.
I'm going to go ahead and say that hair means something to her. She wants to keep that hair. She wants to braid that hair. Potentially, she wants to dye that hair. Perhaps anything goes. I'm going to go ahead and go John Natton. I think she's going to knock her out. John Natton's going to knock out Esmeralda. Esmeralda, she's an underdog for a reason. As we know, it's all about the names in the UFC. I hate to say it. It's all about the names. I'm going John Natton.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna stick with your boy, the Martian, because he sounds like he knows what he's doing over there. I'm still riding with Esparza on this one. I'm gonna fade the both of you. And Saturday night, after Carla Esparza wins, I cannot wait to gloat on Twitter. I'll be giving props to your boy if that pick comes through. If it doesn't, well, we'll never mention him again. Sorry.
Yeah, and if he was right, I will get the correct name of his podcast and plug it appropriately.
All right, sounds good. We might let you do that.